Hi again. It's Dawn, the best-selling author of The Touch Crisis, still working my way to #1. I am really, really loving all the support and feedback that I'm getting. And, everyone told me as I started speaking about how important physical contact is in our culture, what an important subject this was, and that I should write a book on it. And it took me about 2 years of people telling me to write the book. And I'm just so pleased that it's being embraced so well by our culture right now. And what I wanted to do this time is read a little bit of chapter 5. So chapter 5 is all about how different cultures interact with physical contact, right? Because what we believe around physical contact is shaped by society, by cultural messaging, by our religions, by location, by our experience, right? So many things come into our beliefs and our comfort and our reactions to physical contact. So this is the part that I'm reading is actually when I showed up in a hostel in Scotland that I stayed at for about 3 weeks. And this scene that I'm about to read to you actually happened. And I think it really, really highlights how differently people interact with physical contact across cultures. I dropped my rucksack on the floor next to the only empty lower bunk in the small hostel room and sat down on the bed to strip off my hiking boots, properly wet from the Scottish rain. "I cannot tell you how glad we are to have you here," gushed the 20-something woman lying on the bunk opposite mine. "We have been so short on help. I've been here all summer and we usually have 6 people around. Now we only have 3. She threw her long, dark hair over her shoulder as she sat up, pulling her earbuds out of her ears and setting them on the phone next to her. "Well, it's good to be here, and it helps me too," I said. "Heck, I'll volunteer a couple hours a day to meet people and learn new things while I'm traveling. Sharing a room with staff is a bonus, as I don't have to worry about theft." "Ha, you're American," she stated, picking up on my accent quickly. "What part?" "I'm Lexi, by the way. I'm from Mexico. I'm going to uni in England and then working here in Scotland over the summer." "Minnesota," I answered, pulling my clothes out of my rucksack so I could shove my camping gear under the bed for the duration of my stay. "Oh my gosh, I love American football, and I really love the Vikings. They are my favorite team behind the Broncos." She got up and grabbed my arm, her curvy frame moving quickly across the room. "Come on, let me show you around and introduce you to everyone. I think they're all in the kitchen drinking tea." Still gently holding onto my arm, she led me through an open door into the bright, cozy kitchen space, with a countertop bar separating it from the small dining room, where there were about 8 people scattered around a few tables, talking cheerily over steaming mugs. "Hey, everybody, this is Dawn," Lexi exclaimed loudly in a proper British accent, arm now comfortably on my shoulder like we'd been friends forever. "She's from Minnesota, where the Vikings are from." She gave me a firm squeeze and then introduced me to the guests and the staff in the room. "This is Katrin," she said, giving a 50-something German woman a squeeze from behind. "She's here writing a book." "This is Frenchie," she continued, saying a few words in French and giving the tall, thin guy in line a peck on the cheek. "We've been working together for a month or so by now." "This is Juan. He's from Spain," she continued, putting her hand enthusiastically on the shoulder of a dark-haired, middle-aged man. "He's staying here only tonight with his friends." I already like her, especially the way she's so connected with touching everyone. I know it's part of her culture, but it flows so smoothly and is so genuine. I wonder if she's ever had anyone get offended. "Grab coffee or tea, Dawn. It's free for staff and guests. Hang out and chat, and we'll do the tour later," Lexi continued, flopping onto a chair as she asked some newcomers where they were from and how long they'd be around. I grabbed some instant coffee and settled into the space, watching Lexi continue her casual contact with the majority of people. She's very good at inclusion. It's not only about the way she touches. I can see people relaxing as she engages them in conversation and introduces them to others. I heard her say a few words in what I thought was Italian and shook my head, completely impressed. She seems to have mastered the skill of bridging cultural gaps, at least at a first world country level. My time in that this is not in my book, but my time in the hostel there was actually really engaging. And I do go on in this chapter to talk about some of the things I observed. But it was interesting watching people from Asian cultures, people from Latino cultures, people from African cultures, people from different cultures around the world, and how they engaged in physical contact, how they engaged verbally, how they chose to communicate or not communicate. And even though individuals were also different, I could tell themes between each culture and background. And it was a really fascinating thing for me to watch. So as we work with the touch crisis in our own culture and look at ways that we can start using physical contact to include others, to decrease loneliness, to increase the oxytocin and the hormonal balance within the people that we know and love and lead, we can use these concepts and these ideas to create stronger communication, to create comfort within our own belief systems. So we can, I believe this touch crisis can really be solved and can really be a tool to help bridge communication and inclusion with others. So once again, thank you for watching. If you are an Amazon Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can actually get the book for free, which is super great. And if not, my book will be available forever and ever. I've put the link in the chat, so feel free to use that and share with all of your friends. Please, please, please. I'd love to see the Kindle book go from 75 in bestseller to #1. So we're working our way there slowly but surely. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day.